Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We would like to present our topic about Syed Naquib Al-Attas, his biography, thought, contribution on philosophy, Islamic education. So my name is Syed. My metric number is 1203059.
Hi, my name is Naquib binti Muhammad Kazani. My metric number 1202859.
This research aims at answering the following research question, which is firstly, who is Syed Muhammad Naquib Al-Attas and his personal background? Secondly, what Syed Naquib Al-Attas taught through Islamic knowledge? And thirdly is what Syed Naquib Al-Attas' contribution on philosophy of education. Then, this research aimed at achieving the following research objective, which is firstly to explore biography of Syed Muhammad Naquib Al-Attas and his personal background. Secondly, to study Syed Naquib Al-Attas' talk through Islamic knowledge. And thirdly, to identify contribution on philosophy of education of Syed Muhammad Naquib Al-Attas.
The scope of study. This study was conducted on Monday, 27 December 2022 and Tuesday, 28 December 2022 at Faculty of Leadership and Management. This study was carried out using the interview method with the full-time lecturer at the FKP, which is Mrs. Datin Sapura and Dr. Rustem. The real name of Syed Naquib Al-Attas is Syed Muhammad Naquib bin Ali bin Abdullah bin Muhsin Al-Attas. Was born in 5 September 1931 in Bogor, Java. So, his early illustration and centrist science scholar and servants, one of whom from his maternal side was Syed Muhammad Al-Idrus, the teacher and the spiritual guide of the Syed Muhammad Al-Idrus. So, as we know, Al-Attas is a well-known academic who enjoyed the widespread acclaim. His thought, his theories have received a great deal of praise from Orientalists like Anna Roll, Peter, as well as Muslim thinkers George Staff, Mona Abaza, and Juidal. So, the well-known Malaysian Muslim philosopher and the scholar Professor Syed Muhammad Naquib Al-Attas. He is the one of the rare modern scholars who is equally proficient in teleology, philosophy, metaphysics, history, and literature, as well as deeply invested in the traditional Islamic discipline.
Returning to the life of Syed Naquib Al-Attas, this time we will uncover one by one about his educational background. The fundamental educational of Syed Naquib Al-Attas was favorable, influenced by his family. Al-Attas spent some time in Malaysia and some time in Indonesia for his previous education. Syed Naquib Al-Attas began his basic schooling at the Niheng Primary School in Johor when he was 5 years old during 1936 until 1941. Al-Attas finished this level and won the Madrasah Al-Urwat Al-Wusqa in Sukabumi, West Java to continue his studies, this time in Arabic in years 1941 until 1945. Then he returned to Johor following the Second World War in order to finish his studies, first at Bukit Zahra School and subsequently at English College in years 1946 until 1941. For his career development, Syed Naquib Al-Attas joined the Malay Regiment as a cadet officer after completing his secondary study in 1951. He was chosen by British High Commissioner for Malaysia General Sir Gerard Templer to receive in military education, first at Aston Hall in Chester, Wales, and then at the Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst, England in years 1552 until 1555.
For the book and article from the publication and works, Syed Naquib Al-Attas is the first one. Al-Attas is the author 27 books and articles, several of which have been translated into various languages, including Arabic, Persian, Turkish, Urdu, Malayalam, Indonesia, French, German, Russian, Bosnia, and Japanese. Okay, Hindi, Korean, and Albanian. He also writes 7 short stories and essay.
Syed Naquib Al-Attas first proposed the idea of Islamization of knowledge in the late 1917. It goes to separate knowledge from Western culture and civilization and replace it with Islamic framework, concept and value. Here we can see how Syed Naquib Al-Attas tried to separate or isolate Western culture with Islamization of knowledge. But it had the unexpected effect of making Malay literature strongly influenced by Islamic features, which had a negative effect.
So, for the Syed Naquib Al-Attas idea about Islamization of knowledge, for Al-Attas, the problem of knowledge in education is paramount. So, in Risalah, Al-Attas considered the introduction of a system of education and the dissemination of knowledge by the West, particularly to the Muslim, as a new and more subtle forms of the age-old attempts by the West to force his ideas into worldview. So when the direct confrontation and Christianization have failed, modern reformers and the knowledge of their times, he then presented his idea, Naquib Al-Attas idea, at the international level during the First World Conference. The concept of education in Islam, a framework philosophy of education. The first one is the concept education in Islam, and the second one is the scientific nature of the Arabic language by Syed Naquib Al-Attas.
The contribution of Syed Muhammad Naquib Al-Attas, he contributed importantly to the history and origin of the modern Malay language, and having founded and designed the building of the International Institute of Islamic Thought and Civilization, ISTAD, in Kuala Lumpur, which was officially opened in 1991.
Lastly, conclusion, we can conclude that bringing the Islamic civilization back to life and having an influence that colors the global civilization of mankind is one of the great ideas and project of this foremost scholar.